This is gyoza, the Japanese evolution of the Chinese jiaozi, also known as pot stickers. Gyoza are commonly pan-fried, but you can find them boiled, deep-fried, or steamed. The best gyoza, in my opinion, are crisp on the bottom, tender and just a tad chewy on top, and packed with filling flavored with fragrant ginger and garlic.
It's fun and it's like rewarding to just make them at home.
This is Brandon Kida, head chef of Hinoki The Bird in Century City and founder of Gogo Gyoza, a dumpling pop-up formed during the pandemic. And this is Betty Hallock and her sister Karen. Betty is a food writer, editor, and cookbook author, and her sister is a lawyer and a longtime gyoza maker for their family. Together, all of these wonderful people are going to show me how to make gyoza. Our first stop is Hinoki The Bird to catch up with Brandon and prepare the gyoza he's been cooking at home with his mother since he was a child. What is your mom's name?
Dory.
Dory, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's make Dory's dumplings.
All right, so we have our ground pork. We're gonna do a pinch of salt. Our next ingredient is garlic chive, nida, all right? And then ginger, that's another one that's kind of really flexible, maybe a big pinch. A little bit of sesame oil. This part, my mother did not do. I put in a little bit of soy. We also have 1 egg yolk. That's also something my mother didn't do. We have napa cabbage. So you have to pull out the water from the cabbage before you add it to the mix. So squeeze out some of that moisture.
Whoa,
yeah,
so
you can
much
tell
water
how
in
much
here.
water is in the cabbage.
But I usually, when I'm squeezing my potatoes, I don't have like nice cheesecloth. It's normally like a dish towel that my mom said I wasn't allowed to use, and then I ruin it, and it's kind of a thing.
Well, you could do that too. So imagine all this liquid in our
Satisfying.
dumpling. It would ruin it.
Nobody wants a soggy dumpling.
No. So now we're left with this mixture, and all we have to do next is kind of mix it up. You know, when we were growing up, obviously, both my parents were working parents, and so ground meat, you know, throw in equal amounts of cabbage, and you know, you just turned 1 pound of meat into like 2. So,
Yeah, you got to make the ingredients stretch.
Yeah.
How often was your mom making these dumplings?
We would make these, like, it's one of my earliest childhood memories, easily. Like, this was my first entryway into hospitality. We would sit around and we'd make these dumplings, and, you know, we'd all fold together and we'd put them on the sheet trays like we're gonna do together. And we'd put them on there, we'd freeze them, we'd, you know, bag them up in little baggies for later on. And one time, my dad came home from work late night. He takes out one of these baggies of gyoza that I've made, and he goes, cooks them up real quick, you know, sits down with a bowl of rice and some, you know, ume or pickles or something like that, eats away, and is totally satisfied. And in my little brain, I was like, even as a little, like the youngest one of the family, like I can still kind of provide a little bit, you know what I mean? Like it just, it was like this moment that happened, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Tell me about these wrappers.
Yeah, at Gogo Gyoza, we have a person that makes gyoza skins for us. But, I mean, to be honest with you, these are store-bought. I'm not picky about the skin. I don't make them myself because I can't get them as thin and as consistent as these are. So my mom never did this either. But
Sorry, Dory.
it is way easier.
Oh
to
yeah,
do it
let's
this
pipe
way.
these dumplings.
Yeah, exactly. Dip your finger in the water and you're going to kind of make a seal on the outside.
All the way around?
Right. All the way around.
Right.
So here is my mother's technique for...
Yes.
Okay, so you just make a half moon, just fold it over and seal it really well. So now all you do is kind of just fold it over. Yeah,
Oh, that one's good.
that one's good.
Okay.
That one's good.
Sorry.
This is the same technique as you did with this, the same fold, but you're only gonna do it on the flap that's facing you.
Oh, too many?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm good with 3.
All right.
3 is my jam.
See, now it's starting to look like a store-bought one.
I don't know.
Way
You
better.
tell me.
Way better.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What? gonna put this down there and you're gonna think you made it.
What do you think? You want to keep going?
Yeah, how many are we making?
Well, how many do you
many
want
as
to
you wanna eat?
How many do you want to eat? The characteristics that you're looking for in a good gyoza is a crispy bottom. That's why a flat bottom is important, okay? And then we're gonna steam the top. So it's kind of a combination cook, and you'll get a chewy top. That's what is a good combination for me. That's what I enjoy. So this is gonna be on a medium-high heat, and all you're looking for at this stage is a little bit of golden color. So golden
Getting
color,
brown.
right?
Yeah.
All right, so at this stage, I'm gonna take our water and I'll put in a little bit of this flour on top. Okay, put our water in. And you're gonna go up like a third of the way, I would say. You're gonna cover it.
And so why did you sprinkle flour on top of it?
One of my favorite parts is the crispy bits,
Yeah.
right, around the edges,
Yeah.
just like pizza when the cheese kind of crisps up. It's the same kind of concept here. Without burning yourself, kind of tap that with your finger.
Oh yeah, it's like firm.
Okay, so now you know the proteins are set, and we'll let the water kind of evaporate. The water's almost evaporated, and you can see that there is a crust starting to form. Now we need to add a little bit of sesame oil. Sesame oil is great for flavor as well as helping with creating the crust.
Red.
So you
I
have
mean-
this, you have the crisp
Oh
bottom
my goodness.
and the chewy top. So here's this. This is our slurry. Depending on how thick you want your lattice will determine how much flour you add. So I'm sure we'll add a good amount here. All right. Ooh,
What?
all right.
Wow.
Oh, you're a pro. Pro. Absolute pro.
Ooh, do you have your dumpling sauce?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So I take a bunch of different spices and I toast them and I dump them inside of this black vinegar soy mixture. Just gives it more aroma. And then, of course, chili oil. So it's kind of a hybrid. You know, mine is like a mix between a Japanese and a Chinese recipe. Like, I grew up in Los Angeles, so I don't even care what's a Chinese ingredient, what's a Japanese ingredient, what's a Korean ingredient. I don't care. Even in here, I even have some guajillo chilies. So it's just
Nice.
like, I just do whatever makes sense in my head.
Yeah.
And that's what's traditionally, you know, kind of served up with gyoza.
So do you ever go out for these, or you're only making these yourself?
In Japan, it's the one and only time that I've gone out to get gyoza. You walk up, they give you your bowl of rice, the little pickles or whatever, you have your green tea, and you're like, you just tell them however many you want, and it's like a quick and fast meal. But whenever I'm here in the States, it's generally I'll make it myself. Like, I think because of that, my mother used to make it for us, like that's where I see gyoza, at home. So I think that's why I always just make them.
Talk to me more about Gogo Gyoza. So what is that? When did you start it, and
Right.
kind of why did you do that?
So, like a lot of companies that started during the pandemic, it was necessity, right? So here at Hinoki, we had to lay people off during the beginning when everything got shut down, which is really difficult for a chef to do because when you're in your restaurant, all of these people, whether they like you or dislike you or agree with, all that aside, you're responsible for them. And it's like, there's a reason why we call this a house, right? Back of the house, front of the house. It's because at the end of the day, everyone has to kind of play along to make that experience work. So when we shut down, it was tough. Like I struggled with that for a little bit because it's my first time that I've ever had to like lay a staff off. And we always forget, like in Los Angeles especially, we have a lot of people that aren't eligible for unemployment. And I think that story that I told you about my dad, about realizing like this is an actual thing that you can produce on your own with your own hands. It doesn't take like a machine, it doesn't take anything. You can produce this and it can actually become something that could provide for people. So I think it was very like instinctual and very easy for me to go directly to dumplings. And at first it was like, my wife and I sitting at our kitchen table, literally folding hundreds of dumplings.
Amazing.
We would take those dumplings and we would text friends and family. We'd be like, hey, you want some dumplings? And then we would just drive around the city, just delivering dumplings around the city. And it was kind of, I don't know, it was a very simple time, but very rewarding because the exact work you put in, you could see the results, right? I would ask for donations and it would go directly into my cook's hands, which was like perfect for me. It just was very simple and I knew the task and the mission that I had, and it just happened. In the end, people are gonna see it. They're gonna know that you care about them.
Love.
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you. Now that I've got a good foundation for amazing gyoza, Betty and Karen are going to show me how they make their version at home with their family.
Traditionally, gyoza is the pork or chicken here. I think we always used pork or a combination of pork and beef, but recently we've been eating less red meat, so we've been using chicken.
Nice.
Cabbage, green onion, fresh shiitake mushroom, ginger, garlic, a little bit of soy sauce, sesame oil, pinch of salt, and then you add cornstarch at the end. It kind of brings it all together and helps the mixture not be too moist. So it's half a head of cabbage for a pound of chicken and a teaspoon of salt, and you just mix the salt in. And then you let it sit, you just massage it in.
Kind of like draw out all the moisture.
Yes, you want to draw out the moisture. And so you'll let this sit for 20 minutes.
And then it turns into that.
Yes, and a really compressed.
So whose original recipe is this?
This is my mom's, and she's really particular about even the way we put things in the filling, like the order in which we mix the filling.
Yeah, I've been promoted. I usually I'm not allowed to even do this. For years, I've apprenticed at that for many years, and today is a big deal for me because I've been promoted to mixer.
Hey, what do you know? Okay, good. If your mom were watching right now, would she be freaking out at how you guys are doing this, or are you doing it the correct way?
I think we're doing it the correct way. I think you could get a little more vigorous.
Okay. Yeah. No, she'd be proud.
That looks pretty good, Karen.
Thank you.
I think it looks great.
Thank you.
I think it looks really good.
Mom, what do you think of our filling?
Be honest.
Be honest.
Did Mom just respond?
She did. Oh!
Looks good with a heart.
Betty and Karen taught me some basic folding techniques, but there is a seemingly endless number of ways to fold your dumplings.
It's like you can nestle them into each other.
Regardless of the style you choose, hanging out, sitting around a counter together making dumplings is a great way to spend some quality time with loved ones and friends.
Wow, that looks really good.
That is.
It's definitely more about the process than how they look. Though, I do think ours came out looking pretty great.
Whoa.
Make sure it's like a good angle.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty with a heart. I feel like it's because she thought you guys did it. Good job.
Okay, it's cook time.
We're gonna cook them? What makes good gyoza?
The balance of the flavors in the filling. So, the garlic, the ginger, the scallions, the juiciness of the meat. The meat has to be juicy. The thinness of the skin, the crispiness at the bottom, how it's cooked. I like that contrast between crispy and then soft and steamed on top. And so, but it's the flavor of the filling, and that doesn't always, people don't always get that right. I think it's like a fine balance. And we didn't test our filling first, like fry a little in a pan first, and then, and then use that to fill, like just to make sure the seasoning was right.
Is that what you guys usually do?
No, never.
Oh, so each one is like a leap of faith. It's just,
Yeah, I always feel like we just go for it.
I stopped
My
even
mom just
trying,
texted
yeah.
Karen and me,
What?
and she said she cooked her own gyoza.
Oh.
wait, well, show her. I think ours looks better.
Are you gonna
I didn't
edit
mean
that
it.
out?
No.
No, keep it in. That's awesome.
It's easy. So we just do half soy sauce, half rice vinegar. Oh, that's kind of a lot of
That is a lot.
chili
That's
oil.
yours, Betty. It's for you.
Okay, is it going?
Okay, come on. Is that really how much you're supposed to put? That one has like
This one has the least.
the least. After you.
Juicy. So I try without the sauce first, and then the seasoning. The filling. Like we don't season with a lot of salt because there's dipping sauce.
These
So
don't need
Oh,
sauce.
that's really good.
These are like especially juicy, even though it's chicken.
Yeah.
Like it's nice that you have that fat in there. And then you can taste all of the components with the mushroom and the cabbage.
what about? Is it too gingery?
Success. Thanks for setting us up for success.
You're welcome.
I think you guys are related or something.
Thanks for watching. Do you like gyoza? Do you have a favorite place you want to share? Is there a dish you enjoy cooking with your family? Comment below and let us know. And as always, please like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to see more episodes as we drop them, and all the rest of the great stuff we make. See you next time.